My father brought me up alone and as a Christian. He worked hard to teach me Christian values. I read the Bible a lot when I was in primary school, skipping words I didn't know, and noticed some contradictions. For example, eating pork, Jesus' death, God's mercy and blessings be upon him, etc. When I was 12, I knew that I didn't really believe in Christianity anymore, but I didn't know what to think. I kept seeking God and praying to Him for the truth. I sought God a lot. I had a lot of questions in my mind. Everyone at some point asks themselves, why do I exist? Or, what is the purpose of being on earth? The variety and complexity of the intricate systems that make up the factory of human beings and the world in which they exist indicates that there must have been a supreme being who created them. The design indicates a designer. When human beings find footprints on the beach, they immediately conclude that a human being has walked there before. Nobody imagines that the waves of the sea settled on the sand and randomly produced a depression that looks exactly like human footprints. Nor do humans instinctively conclude that they were brought into existence without a purpose. Since purposeful action is a natural product of human intelligence, humans conclude that the supreme intelligent being who created them must have done so for a specific purpose. It is for this reason that human beings need to know the purpose of their existence in order for their lives to have meaning and to do what is ultimately beneficial to them. When I was 19 and called myself a seeker of truth, I traveled a lot looking for other cultures and beliefs to satisfy my need to find God. I researched Taoism, Wicca, Buddhism, Rastafarianism, Judaism, Freemasonry, Christianity, Hinduism, animism, etc. I even looked up a page or two on Islam, but immediately dismissed it as it didn't suit my desires. I saw that Muslims worship Allah and that Muhammad, may Allah's mercy and blessings be upon him, is his messenger and that they pray 5 times a day. 5 times a day. I thought it sounded like too much work. It couldn't possibly be the religion of God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. When I returned to the United States, I was almost 20. I wasn't satisfied with any of the religions I had researched. I decided to study medicine, which was my dream. I filled out the documents and the entrance exams and was accepted, much to my joy. I took a bus from Michigan to Colorado to go to university. While traveling, I met a boy who had been sitting behind me for most of the trip. I asked his name and learned that he was Ibrahim from Africa, traveling to university to become an engineer. We started chatting and he told me he was Muslim. I asked him what he was and he explained that Muslims believe that nothing deserves worship except Allah and that Muhammad is the last and final messenger of the Abrahamic faiths. He concluded that Jews lack 2 prophets, Jesus and Muhammad, and Christians lack 1 prophet, Muhammad. I asked him more about the religion of Islam and he shared with me a booklet with a collection of supplications, du'as and dhikr that Muslims make. Inside the first daily reminder I read was, "No one has the right to be worshipped except Allah, without partners. To him belongs all sovereignty and praise and he is almighty over all things." It was then that I knew that Islam was quite possibly what I had been looking for. I searched further in the book for more clarification on Allah and focused on these 2. In the name of Allah, who by his name can do no wrong on earth or in the heavens and he is all-hearing and all-knowing. O Allah, any blessing received by me or any of your creations comes from you alone, you have no partners. All praise and thanks are for you. I then turned to Ibrahim and asked him how I could become a Muslim. He told me to do my Shahada, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. There is no deity that has the right to be worshipped except Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. And by believing and affirming this, I became a Muslim right there on the Greyhound bus. So, after talking to Ibrahim for 15 minutes, I became a Muslim. That was 7 years ago. I never went to medical school. I decided to spend my time learning my new religion and moved to Utah. I met many great Muslims there who welcomed me warmly into the community and spent a lot of time teaching me about the religion. To summarize some of the most important things I learned as a Muslim: there has to be a creator because there is creation. Proof that there is a God is shown through the masses, who feel the need to worship and do so through the large numbers of different religions and beliefs. Otherwise, where would we have gotten the idea of worship? If there were more than one God, there would be complete and utter chaos because they would argue with each other. Consequently, every human being is responsible for the belief in God, which is imprinted in every soul. It is based on this innate belief that Allah defined the purpose of the creation of mankind in the chapter Ad-Dariyat, which means, I created the jinn and mankind only to worship me. Quran 51-56. The laws on which our societies are based are proof that there must be a creator for everything and that we are imitating him and his divine laws by creating our own rules and legislation. Unfortunately, societies often make laws and legislation that are contrary to God's laws. Without these laws, there would be complete panic and disorder throughout the world, which would make life very different from what we live and experience. A religion cannot be properly judged by its followers, but it can be properly judged by its teachings. Islam is for all of humanity with complete structure and guidance for every aspect, condition and affliction that humanity encounters and suffers. Islam cannot be changed and put in a box about how you want to practice it. You must change yourself and your lifestyle to suit Islam. The essential purpose for which humanity was created is to worship God. However, the Almighty does not need human worship. He did not create human beings out of a need on his part. If no human being worshiped God, it wouldn't diminish his glory in any way, and if all of humanity worshipped him, it wouldn't increase his glory in any way. God is perfect. He exists without any needs. All created beings have needs. Consequently, it is humanity that needs to worship God. Why do human beings need to worship God by obeying divinely revealed laws? Because obedience to divine law is the key to success in this life and the next. The first human beings, Adam and Eve, were created in paradise and then expelled for disobeying divine law. The only way for human beings to return to paradise is through obedience to the law. Divine laws represent guidance for humanity in all ethnic and social groups. They define right and wrong and offer human beings a complete system governing all their affairs. Only the Creator knows what is beneficial for his creation and what is not. Divine laws order and prohibit various acts and substances to protect the spirit, the body and society from harm. For human beings to fulfill their potential by leading virtuous lives, they need to worship God through obedience to his commandments. I am now married with children and am a stay-at-home mom. I write and illustrate books for children. I also maintain 3 websites on Islamic belief, character, manners and business ethics.